Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am speechless, but before I get into my review, if you're new to this channel, hello and welcome. I summarize and review the latest English and Central Kapımı episodes, say what I liked, what I didn't like, what I noticed, what I think might happen next. If you like these kinds of videos, like, comment, share, but most importantly subscribe so we can meet on a weekly basis. As always, let's talk a little bit about the smaller storylines. First we have the triangle between Pırıl, Engin and Ceren, and in this episode Engin tried to make it up to Pırıl and Ceren, tried to apologize. First he tries to ask out Ceren for an apology coffee, but he insists on having it at her office, and she's trying to not let him know that her father is her boss, and she's scared that he will think that just because her father owns this law firm she got the position that she got, and it's not because of her brains and what she can do. So she tries to hide everything. There are moments where I was like, oh my god, he's going to find out, because a woman wants to go out with Ceren to the most expensive sushi restaurant or something like that. He's even amazed that she has such a big office as a trainee. So at first he doesn't really acknowledge it. He's like, oh nice, cool, but Pırıl is actually the one who pushes him to research Ceren a little bit more, because he's looking at Ceren's, what's it called, not credit card, like the card where her name is and where she works, blah blah blah. He looks her up, he finds out the truth. He gets really upset that she wouldn't tell him the truth, because before that they were talking about Eda and Serkan. They met up at a restaurant, and then he's like, okay, so the contract between Eda and Serkan ended, so I really do hope that you won't leave us as well. And she's like, no, you're my client, so I'm not going anywhere. And he's kind of relieved that she will stay, so he's going to confront Ceren. She apologizes. I felt really bad for her, and then she also told him the reason why she lied to him that way, and he's like, why would you lie to me, you're the smartest person I know, blah blah blah. He really complimented her, and I kind of understood why Engin felt so betrayed and not trusted somehow. So I'm really interested to see how Ceren will make it up to Engin, because in the beginning it kind of seemed to me that Engin was more moving towards Ceren, but after that lie he now kind of moved more towards Pırıl, because he tried to apologize to Pırıl with flowers, but she didn't like them because she prefers flower pots. And then after Engin found out the truth about Ceren, he bought a flower pot for Pırıl, and they kind of got along again. So I don't know. Then we have Aydan and Atakin. So Aydan is still trying to make Atakin jealous. He gets jealous, but the problem is he doesn't show it, and she gets really frustrated because she doesn't see the results of him being jealous. But Arda, so the actor, reassures her that she will see changes slowly but surely. I didn't really understand the whole insect thing, but I think that was Aydan's plan to kind of get Atakin to sleep in her room. I don't know, that's kind of what I gathered from this problem. So he ends up asking her if he can sleep over in her room, but she's like, under one condition, you fire that secretary. And he doesn't answer. He only says, when will you get rid of Arda? So I think he will fire that secretary, because he likes that Aydan is kind of keeping him on his toes, and the fact that he actually laid down next to her showed me that he's really going to fire that secretary, and Aydan will part ways with Arda. Then we also have Ferit kind of going behind Serkan's back, still trying to get a deal with Mr. Efe, or whatever this guy's name is, even though Serkan didn't want to cooperate with them because of their clauses and conditions they wanted. Efe's team kind of dug up old articles about the holding, and they say that they hope this wouldn't happen again, blah blah blah, because they do their due diligence. And I was like, okay, he's just such a snake going behind everybody's back. He goes to Atakin, tells him about what Mr. Efe dug up. Atakin says that Ferit is not allowed to tell Serkan anything about this article and what happened back then, because this is his biggest secret and he tried to hide it for so many years. So I was like, what happened? I don't understand. And then Atakin tells the story, and Dun dun dun! He was the architect who built that house where Eda's parents died, so he was responsible for their death. Now, I'm so interested to see how they're going to unveil it. How is Serkan going to find out about it? Will he find out about it before Eda and keep it a secret from her? I don't know. I'm really interested because later Alptekin tells Serkan that Ferit now holds a couple of shares, and Serkan wasn't really amused when he heard about that. Maybe it's kind of a compensation for Ferit. So for the fact that Ferit will keep this whole incident a secret, he got some shares from Alptekin. That's just my theory. So I don't know when Serkan will find out, if he will ever find out. Maybe, like, there are a couple of theories that I have. So maybe Alptekin and Serkan will get along quite well, and then at the peak of their getting along, Serkan finds out about that incident. Maybe Ferit will tell him because he doesn't get something he wants from Alptekin, so he goes and tells Serkan. This could be a possibility. Maybe Mr. Efe will tell Serkan about it, so Serkan will confront Alptekin about it, and maybe Serkan will be the one who puts two and two together about the accident and the connection to Eda, because Alptekin doesn't know how Eda's parents died. Then another theory could be that Alptekin confesses somehow, but that's not really possible. There are a couple of theories that could be possible, so I'm really interested in which direction it will go. But my tendency is that Ferit will kind of blackmail Alptekin sometime in the near future or further down the line, I don't know. But this secret is not good for Alptekin, that Ferit is the one holding the secret. Alptekin also tells Aydan what happened back then because she didn't know up until now. So maybe when she will have a talk with Eda and Eda tells her how her parents died, or she will find out from Serkan somehow, she will put two and two together. This could also be a possibility, I don't know. But anyways, is there something else? Oh yeah, Ayfer telling Fifi that she will put a mortgage on her house so she doesn't go bankrupt, and she still doesn't want Eda to know about it. Then she also asks Jagan for help to talk to a bank to do all those things because Jagan has all the connections and she doesn't want Eda to know about it, blah blah blah. And then she goes to Eda's room to look for some documents or something, and that's when she sees the contract between her and Serkan. She gets so angry, she gets so frustrated that it was all a lie. So finally she accepted the relationship between Serkan and Eda. Now she finds out it's all a lie, but the only thing that makes her kind of calm down is the fact that Eda really had a reason. The fact that she actually goes and confronts Aydan, telling her to stay away from Eda. It kind of shows me that if Eda and Serkan really choose to be together, which we're going to see in the future, in the very near future, Ayfer will be the one against it, not allowing Serkan to come to Eda, not allowing Eda to go to Serkan to spend time with him. So Ayfer will be the main obstacle. Another thing that we kind of found out is that Ayfer's mother, so Eda's grandmother, they don't get along, as we already know. They don't want to ask the old lady for money, but because Eda has some money issues, and that's why she resorted to being a fake girlfriend for Serkan, Ayfer calls her mother and asks her for help, monetary help, for Eda to continue her studies. So at first I didn't really think much of it because okay, she doesn't want Eda to be in this situation anymore. But then later Eda gets a call from Italy where she applied for a scholarship at the best university or something like that, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then I put two and two together because when Ayfer is looking through a photo album, we hear what she actually told her mother, and it turns out that Ayfer wanted money for the scholarship or something, and for the grandmother to help her somehow to make Eda go to Italy. So I put two and two together. So the old lady called somebody in Italy, told them that she will pay anything for Eda to go there. So I think the old lady will appear pretty soon, kind of confronting Eda, kind of making her go to Italy, maybe keeping her from Serkan, I don't know. Maybe the old lady met Alptekin years ago when her child died, so maybe the old lady will uncover this truth, tell it it to Eda, Eda will get really angry at Alptekin and Serkan, blaming Serkan, why didn't you tell me? But Serkan doesn't know anything about it. Oh my god, like there's so many storylines it could go. It's insane. Anyways, is there anything else? I think we can already move to the amazing Eda and Serkan storyline, and Celine is a little bit sprinkled in between. So we continue right from last episode. Eda looking at Serkan, Serkan looking at Eda, Celine wanting an answer from Serkan but then giving him 2 days time to think about it. Ferit comes. Eda kind of tries to distract him from the discussion Serkan and Celine had. Eda comes with Ferit with coffees, and when Eda gives the coffee to Serkan, he takes her hand, and I was like, okay, like this is a clear sign to Celine, meaning I don't pick you, I pick Eda. Then Eda kisses Serkan's cheek, so he gets really confused and flustered. Ferit looked so awkward, then said to Celine, let's go, let's leave them alone. So he asks Eda, why did you kiss my cheek? She said to distract Ferit. Then she asked him, why did you take my hand? But he didn't answer. Then we have them on the way back in the car. Eda asking Serkan, why didn't he tell Celine to break up with Ferit? Serkan not really answering, saying it wouldn't have made a difference because Eda would leave him anyway, so why say anything? But then Eda not really saying, no, I won't get away from you. So I was like, once again, this miscommunication, this lack of communication between them is driving me crazy. Like seriously, him, I kind of understand that he's having a hard time to express his feelings, but her, she's so outspoken other times. Why can't she just tell him, dude, tell me in my face, what are your feelings towards me? I want to know. But no, it's not happening, and it's so frustrating for me. Anyways, when they're in the car, she turns up the radio and they play this song that really fits their story, and it turns out it's actually the actress singing who plays Pırıl. So it's a really nice song and she has a really nice voice. Then we have Serkan telling Eda that he will pick her up. She's like, no, I completed my work and the contract is done, so I don't need to come to work anymore. And Serkan is like, I will find something for you, don't worry. And then she kind of looked pleased that he said something like that, so she now knows that he doesn't want her to leave his side, if that makes sense. Then we also see Celine trying out some cake, also what hairdo she will have at the wedding, but she's still kind of thinking about Serkan. So she calls Aydan to go talk to her. Aydan reassures her that Serkan will for sure pick Celine. Celine is like, I don't know, either way he will decide, hearts will be broken. So if he decides to go for Celine, Ferit and Eda's hearts will be broken, but if he chooses to stay with Eda, her heart will be broken. Then we have Eda talking to Ceren and Engin talking to Serkan. So Eda telling Ceren that Serkan didn't say anything to Celine to break up with Ferit. Ceren kind of saying, well, maybe he's in love with you, maybe he likes you. Then Eda saying, well, sometimes he behaves really nicely, then he kind of destroys it all. So it's really hot and cold between them. And then we see Serkan talking to Engin, kind of the same thing, and Engin also telling Serkan that he's in love with Eda, but he's not really accepting it. He's like, no, we're just great actors, blah blah blah, kind of finding excuses for his feelings. And then we see Eda looking at that guitar pick she got from him and putting it on the pillow next to her. The same goes for Serkan, looking at a picture of them and also putting it on the pillow next to him. So it's actually on the pillow that the other one would have slept on. So they kind of face each other, fall asleep, thinking about each other. I thought it was really adorable, but that scene really reminded me of Dolunay. The exact same thing happened there. So the next day Eda is kind of sad that Serkan didn't call her. Either way, she got ready, but then he actually calls and tells her that he's downstairs. She gets really excited, and when she walks down the steps, Serkan's watch once again going crazy. It's hilarious. Like, I love that watch so much. And then him asking her why she got ready, if she didn't know that he would come, and she's like, well, I have other things to do, blah blah blah. And he gets kind of jealous, not liking the fact that he doesn't know what Eda still has planned and who's she meeting up with, because she looked pretty good. So Serkan brings Eda to a house that needs restoration, and he says, I believe that he will rent it when it's finished. And then he tells the backstory of this house, and she kind of knows that person, like she admires that person because it's the Rose Doctor or something like that. So it's a really nice backstory, but once again it resonates with their story. I don't know, was it a foreshadowing because the doctor, kind of like Serkan, built a rose garden for his wife or his girlfriend who loved flowers like Eda. Then I don't know what happened. I think that the doctor was a workaholic, so he didn't really have that much time for his girlfriend, so she went and married a different person, and then he got really sad and I don't know, and then left this house. So I don't know, is this a foreshadowing that in the future Eda will kind of leave Serkan, will marry a different person? Maybe the grandma will force her, and that way Serkan will be broken like the doctor. I don't know, it's just my theory. Eda at first asking Serkan why he took her to this place, him saying that he needs some help, some ideas, that they should share ideas, and then they go through the whole house, her saying what she would do with it, blah blah blah. Then they have this talk on the balcony, and Eda telling Serkan that he should go to Celine, like go back together with her, because it's the most logical thing he could do. And then Serkan not really answering, but then asking Eda what will she do. Then she tells him that she applied for a scholarship or university abroad. He's not really amused about that, and then he's kind of hurt that she didn't accept his scholarship, and she's like, well, I didn't want to because I did this whole contract thing because you told me after the kiss I destroyed your life, so I wanted to fix it, so I did it, so I didn't need your scholarship on top of it. And then him always trying for her not to go, and her getting kind of frustrated saying, why do you keep insisting on me not leaving? And then he's kind of hurt and is like, do you hate me that much that you don't want to work with me anymore? And then her saying that she can't work with him because she needs to be as far away as possible from him. So I do think because of her feelings, that's why. And then he kind of accepts her reason and thanks her for everything she did, and then they go in for a hug, and you can really see their pain. And then Engin calling Serkan, and Serkan trying to get out of this awkward situation, saying to Engin, oh, there's a crisis, okay, I will come. And Engin is like, no, there's no crisis, don't come. It was hilarious. I really liked that scene. Then after Serkan hangs up, he tells her that he wants to take her out to a goodbye meal to thank her for everything that she did, and she declines. But then he convinces her instead to go with him to the office, and she's like, okay, I want to say goodbye to everybody else. As soon as they arrive, Serkan is having a crisis meeting with Engin, being really desperate for Engin to have an idea to keep Eda, because she will go, so she won't listen to me, she will listen to you, so come up with an idea that she can't say no to. And Eda kind of sees through it and then says, no, I don't want to, because that's Serkan's way of wanting me to stay. And then Engin and Serkan kind of silently communicating. It was hilarious. And then Eda going away, Serkan going after her, because Eda actually gets a call in Engin's office about the scholarship in Italy, and Engin is telling Serkan through signs that she will go to Italy. And that's when Serkan goes after her, is like, well, why didn't you tell me that you will go, blah blah blah. And then Eda is like, why are you still coming after me, because now you're with Celine? Oh, before that, I believe, because Layla told Eda that Serkan will go to London with Celine for a meeting or something like that. And that's when Eda is questioning his actions and being like, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I thought that he really liked me. And then she has this phone call with Jaran outside, and Serkan only hears the last part of it. And then Eda goes to Engin's office and declines his offer. Anyways, because Eda thinks that Serkan will go to London with Celine, she thinks that they're back together already. So that's why she says, go to Celine, leave me alone. He's like, okay, if you want it that way. And then that's the scene what we already got in the trailer, where she says, if you really want somebody to stay in your life, tell them to stay and not offer them a job. And then Serkan is like, I'm not a person to tell somebody to stay if they don't want to stay. So I really felt bad for him, and then him getting teary-eyed and almost crying when she walks away. I felt, oh my god, like Serkan, why I feel so bad for you. Then Serkan goes home, tries to distract him from all this Eda trouble and Eda going away. Everywhere he looks, he sees Italy. Aydan is kind of confused that Serkan is already at home. Serkan says, leave me alone. He then calls the doctor. The doctor says that he only had minor panic attacks and he needs something to relax him and try to get away from the stress. And the stress for him is Eda leaving him, and the thing relaxing him is actually Eda. Before the doctor comes, Aydan sees that Serkan is not really feeling well. Aydan calls Celine that Serkan is not feeling well, so she has to come. Seyfi, on the other hand, calls Eda telling her that Serkan is not feeling well. So I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be bad. Like, both of them there, maybe Celine arrives there earlier, so Eda sees her with Serkan, and oh my god, this will be so confusing, so messy. But in the end, it turns out that Eda will arrive there earlier because Celine is talking to Aydan, I believe. But anyways, she brought Serkan some soup. At first I thought it's him hallucinating, maybe dreaming that Eda would come. Her kissing his forehead, taking the temperature. I was like, god. In the meantime, Celine feeling bad that Serkan is not feeling well because she kind of blames herself because of the decision he has to make. He's feeling sick kind of, so that's when Aydan sends Celine to Serkan. Eda asks Serkan if she needs to go because he was really confused what she's doing there. He says, no, stay, I just want to talk to you. And then Serkan was about to tell Eda something, but Celine comes, so it was really awkward. And then Celine saying, well, I know that when Serkan is upset or something, he gets sick, and then Eda being really offended that he didn't tell her this thing about him. And I'm like, why would he tell you about that if he feels fine with you? So he didn't really have a reason to tell you about this quirk he has. Oh my god, what I forgot to say is that when Ayfer found out about the contract, she also got kind of angry at Fifi and Melek because she thinks that they were in on it like Ceren was, but they didn't know about it. So they're really shocked about the fact that there was no real love between Serkan and Eda, and then they kind of confront Eda with it, and then they kind of make a pact, like all four of them, not to lie anymore to each other. And then Ceren kind of confessing her lie that she told to Engin, and then them looking at Fifi and Fifi kind of avoiding their stares because everybody knows Fifi is full of secrets. So they're like, okay, we accept you the way you are. Back to Eda and Serkan at his place. Then we see Eda taking care of him and her seeing all the Little Prince books in all the languages. She really likes it, blah blah blah. Then him asking Eda to tell him what she will do in Italy, and then she starts talking. Then when she sees he's asleep, she writes him a note. After that, she still takes care of him, and then he has a nightmare, and that's when we see what really happened in his childhood. So 2 weeks after his brother's death. So finally I know that his brother is dead, because up until now I was like, maybe he's still alive, I don't know, maybe he will reappear, but no, he actually died. So 2 weeks after the death, Serkan was sent abroad to a boarding school. That shock kind of molded him the way he is now, not really being able to trust people, and for him to be that cold. And he also tells it to Absikin that he's the reason, or him and Aydan are the reason for Serkan to be the way he is. And then he actually is kind of awake, telling her not to go because he's answering to her questions, and he's like, please don't go, don't leave me, take me with you, I will go wherever you want, blah blah blah, please don't go, stay with me, something like that. And then that's when she cuddles up to him, takes care of him, blah blah blah, falls asleep with him. And then the next day I was like, Serkan, why do you say that? Because he doesn't remember anything, because she was still in this lovey-dovey bubble, kind of happy that he didn't want her to go, but he's like, I don't remember anything. So she gets really frustrated. So then waking up, I was like, oh my god. But we already saw that in the trailer, so I was like, this will be amazing. But this amazing scene kind of got destroyed by Serkan's statement that he doesn't remember anything that he said to Eda the night before, and I was like, why? Anyways, Eda goes to Aydan, says goodbye to her, and it was really emotional, that scene. And I was like, oh, look at Aydan really liking Eda. But then there are times where I was like, Aydan, why did you have to say that? Why did you have to destroy this amazing moment? And then she said something nice again, but then something bad again. I was like, Aydan, why are you doing this? But kind of understanding, because she wants the best for her son and she thinks that she does the best for her son by keeping Eda away. I was like, no, this is not the best for your son. Aydan telling Eda that she is such a special human being and she will never forget what she did for her. I thought, oh my god, Aydan. But then on the other hand, saying that Serkan belongs to Celine, and I was like, Aydan, why? And then telling Eda that she should keep the ring, and I was like, oh, so nice. But then her telling the reason so Serkan wouldn't be reminded of her, and I was like, why did you have to say that? Then we have Aydan kind of pushing Serkan to get back together with Celine, but he's not really interested in this topic. He only wants to know if Eda talked to Aydan about him. She said not really, but she will leave tonight. He's really shocked because he didn't know when she will leave. Then we see Serkan calling Eda, asking for a last walk with Sirius, but she's like, no, I can't do this. Kind of like not wanting for her to get more hurt by spending more time with Serkan. So we then see him kind of spying on Eda, saying goodbye to Ayfer, Melek, Fifi and Ceren and Erdem, I believe. And then him following the taxi, forcing it to stop. The taxi driver being really confused, like who drives like that? But then Eda seeing Serkan's car, being kind of frustrated, why don't you leave me alone? The taxi driver stops because Eda tells him to. She gets out, she gets really angry with Serkan. Serkan going to the taxi driver, saying that it was a misunderstanding because this is his bride. Eda says, no, I'm not his bride, blah 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 blah. The taxi driver then saying he will not leave until the lady, so Eda tells him. She says, okay, you can leave. Serkan taking the luggage out of the trunk, and then him asking her if she only packed flip-flops because it seemed kind of light, and then her constantly getting frustrated that she will miss her flight, blah blah blah. He's like, I don't care, you will get a private jet from me, I would just want to talk to you. And then her being like, why can't you leave me alone? Him saying, I can't because you're in every thought of mine, you're everywhere I look, you're in my head, blah blah blah. And then her wanting to go, him telling her, stay, don't go. And then her being like, just tell me one reason why I shouldn't go. And then him telling her, I'm madly in love with you. What did I hear that loud and clear? Serkan confessing his feelings, saying the L word. What? And then him going in for the kiss, and I was like, oh my god, what? Like, this killed me in a positive way. Like, I would look at it, I will die, I will resurrect, then I will look at it again, then I will die again. Oh my god, like, this was amazing. And then when they break up the kiss, his facial expression being like, not bad. And I was like, what was that all about? Was he surprised of how the kiss would be? Like, what was that facial expression about? Oh, well, completely forgot to mention is when Serkan was trying to distract himself and Aydan and Seyfi came with tea. You have to look on his right shoulder. For a second there's a bug, and then in the next frame it's gone, and I was like, was there really a bug? Because I really do think that there was a fly sitting on him, but that's just something that I've noticed. So we got a trailer, thank god. The next episode will be all Serkan and Eda being coupley, being lovely together, kissing all day long, and I don't mind one bit. Then we have Serkan being in the same clothes as after the kiss. So I think he will drive straight to Celine, telling her that he's in love with Eda. Oh, wow, completely forgot. I'm really sorry. So when Serkan sees Eda saying goodbye, he calls Celine to meet up. So Celine gets really excited because now she gets an answer, because she was really torn looking at her wedding dress. She's gone. Ferit is looking for her, can't find her. She won't pick up her phone because they need to do the last rehearsal or something like that. She's waiting for Serkan at the restaurant. Aydan calls Celine to see if Serkan already arrived, but but it kind of dawns to Celine that he won't say a positive answer. Anyways, back to the trailer. So Eda telling Serkan not to go with her. Serkan being like, okay, but under one condition, tell me your feelings towards me. Then we see Aydan seeing Serkan quite happy. He thinks it's because of Celine, but he's like, no. Then Ayfer being kind of angry or being like, don't mention Bola in my house, kind of. So as I said, she will be the main obstacle for Eda to be with Serkan. So I think there will be quite a lot of sneaking around, him kind of jumping out windows or climbing out the window to her room, hiding from Ayfer. I'm pretty sure this will happen. So I think because we got such an amazing episode this week and we will get an amazing romantic episode next time, I think after that or in a couple of episodes the real drama will happen, maybe when the grandma appears. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say. I hope I mentioned everything. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your thoughts are on this amazing episode, what you think might happen next. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring that bell to be notified whenever I post something, and I will see you next time. Bye!